Welcome everybody to Daily Census Explained, where we explain the story in more detail, but in a fun way, so you can know the backstory and how the inspiration came for each episode and each chapter. Thank you guys for listening.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Daily Census Explained, Chapter 10, The Scapegoat. And of course, once again, we have to have a scapegoat, and so we are made to feel a lot of sympathy for India Davis because we've been introduced to who she is and how she operates and, the situation she was in that was really unwinnable. And so she had to work all these shifts herself. And it's pretty obvious, though, that this is all going to go very, very badly for her. And you mentioned it in the last episode, but they talk about it more here, is that this is where Rivera actually does stand up for her. And we get to learn a lot more about him later and what a slimeball he is. Mm-hmm. But again, he does recognize that she was a hard worker and that she did not, deserve this necessarily. But unfortunately, she is going to have to take the fall for all this. But this is where we start to learn even more about Snipes, is that she actually feels bad too. Now, she's not going to question what she's going to do here, but she actually feels a twinge of guilt and feels badly about doing it. But she's going to, of course, protect herself and the hospital as well in this. But it's interesting. We see just how capable Snipes is in this role of being able to kind of cajole this confession out. And as you were saying before, how she frames it for her, for Davis, of how this is the right thing to do. You need to, confess this. And is really, really good at her job when it comes to that.
That's why she's CEO.
Yeah.
Well, basically, she recognized India as a good nurse. Mm-hmm. She knows her policies is the reason why this lady was working so many hours. She knew that, but again, it's self-preservation. And she's gonna coach this girl into taking it, making her feel bad for it.
Right.
So she can clear herself with the board of directors. Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. Even Eric, who really is a slime ball itself, but he realized that girl was working 14 days straight. She's exhausted.
Yeah.
But he tried, but in the end, he only cared about himself as well. Mm-hmm. They got their scapegoat. They have one.
For the betterment of one or the betterment of the some.
And they sold that to her that India actually believed it. Mm-hmm. That she was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
By falling on the sword.
And she did, even in her exhaustion, her intelligence comes through in that she knows kind of what Snipes is doing. Mm-hmm. Like she can feel that she's being manipulated, but she is just too tired and too guilty and
exhausted.
She just wanted to be over at this point.
And so she doesn't even really fight back again. I mean, she keeps expressing, I was just trying to sleep for, a few minutes. Mm-hmm. I was exhausted.
But by saying that, you ain't guilt right there. Yeah. Negligence there.
She admitted it in her interview.
And then at the end, when she left the hospital, how she reflected on all the things she just lost.
Yeah. Yeah. And once again, these are situations where they appear to have a pretty clear-cut perpetrator in these crimes, even if they weren't seemingly intentional. They have someone clear-cut, and unless you have someone who has a suspicion, a reporter, a police officer, someone who has a suspicion, otherwise they're all too busy to try and figure out if someone else did it. So everyone's just
as long as the serial killer doesn't brag about it, they're covered.
They're just buying the story because it seems pretty cut and dry that, hey, this person was negligent. They were exhausted or fell asleep or whatever, but they still killed people, so they're guilty.
The perfect serial killer.
Yeah.
In a perfect environment.
Yeah. And again, no one's the wiser in this case.
Hiding in plain sight.
And
exactly.
Yes. And so the fallout that's happening is to everyone who works at the hospital. Of course, the families are victims of this serial killer, but so are so many of the employees, because what this is going to, I'm sure, to continue to stir up is not only shakeups in staffing, but the suspicions and the rumors and all the things that come along with situations like this, where everyone is jockeying for their own position and their
definitely
own
at a
job.
hospital. Yes. Yeah, that's, oh my God, the rumors and stuff there is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like every organization is really just kindergarten at its core when it comes to
Exactly.
people, with the gossip and the rumors and
And I mean, I worked a lot of places. Hospitals to me were always the worst.
really.
I don't want to say because there was a lot of women there, but man, it was just if you said hey to somebody, oh, you guys were in a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
That's
ridiculous.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So the point that you just kept it strictly business.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and go.
Yeah.
To the point they're like, oh, you ain't got to say yes, ma'am, to me. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Blame it, I'm a military guy. Just say that. But I just want to keep it strictly business.
Yeah.
And you have to do that.
Yeah.
I just did it everywhere I went.
Right. And yeah, I've seen it working anywhere that, two people are friendly and they talk a lot, and they don't even have to be of a different sex. They can be of the same sex.
yeah.
And people are like, oh, maybe they're in some kind of
Smiling
secret
too much.
relation. Yeah, they're having too good a time over there. Like,
Now you
what's
see how Nicole Stipes got where she at by being a bitch. I don't deal with nobody.
right.
I only care about that. It got her head in her business, but no one liked it because really, what could you say about it?
But that also has its own
Yeah,
downside.
everything does.
Because no one's going to come to your defense, and they're going to, they're not going to help.
When it's your turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
karma's a mother.
Yeah. Yep, it is. It is. And I think that is that might actually be the name of the next chapter.
Yeah. Segue.
Uh-huh. So one thing I did want to point out here is, again, with the detailed descriptions, it's very clear at the end of this chapter how much India Davis is going to suffer in this. Everything that she's worked for, everything she strived for, and all the people who are going to be disappointed in her, and then she's also thinking about how terrible she's going to look as they lead her out in front of the press. And so there's just all of these thoughts running through her mind, and that she's obviously still exhausted and is concerned about things that are much more important and things that aren't as important, but her head is just spinning. And like I said, we see how bad this is going to be.
I just
for
wanted
her.
to show that how her life is flashing before her eyes.
Yeah.
Everything she worked for, all the hard work. One bad decision,
Yeah.
one bad day fucks your whole life up.
Yeah.
And she's same proof with the nurses in the NICU and to her now, India Davis.
Yeah.
One little mistake. Now she's reflecting everything she lost.
Yeah.
She worked so hard for.
First one in her family to finish college. First, she always wanted to be a nurse. She was always compassionate, loved her job. And look what that one little nap got her. Mm-hmm. She going to jail.
Yep, and she, and she also doesn't try. It also speaks to her character that she doesn't immediately try and blame shift it to everyone and everything else. She talks about being exhausted and them being short-staffed, but she doesn't try to call people out by name or put blame on anyone else. And I thought that also spoke a lot to her characters, how much she takes on herself.
And it was also the coaching for Nicole Snipes.
That's true.
She coached her into thinking that
Taking
when you're tired and exhausted,
self-accountability.
somebody keep putting it in your head.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you're going to hear or remember.
Right.
So, Nicole manipulated her.
Yeah, and
Definitely did.
and she is good at that for sure.
That's why she's the CEO.
Right.
But what I thought was kind of funny, even though this was a serious scene, is when she was walking out. Like I said, that she didn't resist, but she didn't cry as hard because she didn't want her pictures to look bad on the
Exactly.
in the media.
I
Right.
still made her a woman. She can still think I got to look cute shit. You know what I mean?
On my way out.
I'm in handcuffs. I'm still cute, damn it.
Right. Wow. Because we've all seen the pictures of people those
Yeah,
mugshots.
boo-hoo crying,
Ugly
makeup
cries.
going down.
Oh yeah, and that's the picture that like the media will always use.
look
Is the
for.
worst.
And remember, it was
picture.
media outside waiting on her.
Yep, and they will use that picture of the mascara streaked down or the puffy, and they will choose the worst one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that people, because people can be terrible and want to see that kind of thing
It's
too.
dehumanizing, so
yeah.
that gives them a way to dehumanize her and see, oh yeah, look at her, she looks like she would have done that.
Yeah, and looks guilty. Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. So, all right. Well, again. It is sad to see what's happening here, but it was really kind of inevitable. But I'm just curious to see if they ever figure out what's actually going on. So, and also who's going to suffer the consequences, because it can't be just India at this point. 2 incidents, other heads are on the block here.
Exactly.
So we will find out more in chapter 11 coming soon.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Daily Census Explained. We'll see you in the next chapter. So if you could just please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel, and it means a lot to us.